I'm Joe McPhee, and this is the Manitoba Baseball Hall of Fame inductee profiles, and my guest is Gordie Lyall. Gordie was born in 1940 in Kenton. As a youngster, he won provincial titles in different age groups with teams from Kenton and Hamiota. He then played senior ball with Hamiota, Kenton, Oak Lake, Virden, Source. Played mostly with the strong Hamiota teams from the late 50s to early 70s. He won one MSBL batting crown and was an All-Star 3 times. He coached youth teams in Source and Hamiota and also coached the Team Toba juvenile team in 1988. He umpired in the MSBL from 1973 to 1985 and also umped in Western Canadian and Canadian Senior Championship tournaments. Gordie was inducted into the Manitoba Baseball Hall of Fame in 2007. Welcome, Gordon.
Thank you.
Tell me about the beginnings of your baseball career.
Well, I was born in Kenton. I lived on a farm. I didn't play at all until I was 11, 12 years old. And even then, I was playing with all older kids, and so I got to sit a lot. And but I learned, I got to practice, and finally, when I was about 14, I guess, we formed a midget team in Kenton. John White was the manager, and Ian Lowe was the coach. What a wonderful coach! Mm-hmm. And I was only 14 at the time, but playing with 16 and 17-year-olds, and I got to play third base, which was Ian Lowe's position. And I'll never forget, my glove wasn't all that great. He says, "Here, you better try mine." I could hardly lift it. It was so heavy from him oiling it and things like that. But I used it until I got a new one. But those were the good old days. Then after that, we sort of ran out of ball players in Kenton. And so we had to combine with Hamiota. Mm-hmm. They were getting down in numbers too, and that's how come I got playing with Al and Denny and Dallas Smith and people like that.
Right. Now you played several different teams around.
I was in Kenton. I was south of Hamiota, so I had connections in Oak Lake and Virden as well, and I played. We went to a lot of tournaments. Mm-hmm. Those were the good times. Yeah, right. Play 3 or 4 games a day, and even pitch a couple of games a day, and lots of fun.
Good. And what positions did you normally
play? I played them all.
You played them all.
Yeah. Right. When I was in grade about 10 or 11, my cousin came to stay with us to go to school, and he was a year younger than me, but we were both interested in ball, and that's where we used to take turns pitching and catching, and that's where I got to be able to throw a curveball and stuff like that. And so that was the start of my pitching career, I guess. Mm-hmm. Then that didn't last very long. When I was in Souris, I hurt my arm, and I couldn't throw as hard as I used to. So
you moved to
I played short and first.
Yeah.
Al played second all the time. Mm-hmm. I played short when after Denny got hurt.
Right.
But then I ended up at first base, which I loved. That was a nice place to play.
Great. Now you went on to a second career as an umpire. Now that
I coached first.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I learned to coach in Souris. I was sports director there for a year.
Oh, okay.
But I did some coaching there. My first coaching debut, I guess, was with a real good 12 and under team. Like Mark Fisher was on the team, and Grant Everard, and Greg Cameron, and good team. And we won the 12 and under provincial championship. But that then when I got to Hamiota, I played. But then when I finished playing, I started coaching before I started umpiring.
Yeah.
But after our own kids got into that age category, I started coaching them, and that's what really started that. But umpiring, yes, that was a real experience. Lots of fun.
Yeah.
got heck a couple of times, but didn't throw many guys out of games. No. Very seldom.
Uh-huh. So you had quite a long career at it, so you must have had quite a few experiences then.
Yeah. There was quite a few funny experiences and lots of good road trips. We Bill Kirkup is in the Hall of Fame. He was coaching the Surus team it was when I first started umpiring. I guess I made a call that he was coaching Surus, and he wasn't all that happy with it. And a foul ball went over to the Surus dugout, so he picked it up, and so I just held my hand up. I thought he was going to toss it to me, and he just ripped it. So I caught it and put it in my bag, and we just kind of looked at each other. So, it was forgotten immediately, but I often think of that. Like, I used to stay at their place in Surus.
Right.
So.
Okay. So did umpiring give you a different perspective of the game then, and what?
Yes, yeah. You try to stay out of the limelight. Mm-hmm. At least I did, anyway.
Right.
And if you could make both teams happy, you were an exceptional umpire.
Right.
But that didn't happen all the time. Mm-hmm. But I've had old ladies give me heck from the stands and things like that, but it was rewarding.
Good.
Yeah, I liked doing that. So, and the guy I umpired with were all guys that we knew and associated with. And I umpired a lot with Garth Ferreris.
Yeah.
And he was real good. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, could you still socialize with the ball players after the game, or is that part of umpiring that didn't happen?
That didn't happen very much.
No.
I still knew the guys.
Yeah.
But the odd time it would happen. But quite often, no, we didn't. We didn't want to mess with things like that, especially if we were doing a series.
Okay.
Like a playoff series, we would do the whole series, so no, that was an absolute no-no then. Mm-hmm. But there were times when we used to.
And so you must have been pretty good. You did some Canadian senior tournaments.
That was really fun.
Okay.
Good ball players, and you were up for the games yourself, and trying to do your very best, and it was very enjoyable. I know I remember doing in the Canadian Championships, the Ontario BC game, which was pretty important.
Right.
It was one of the first games of the tournament.
Okay. Where was that at? Where was that?
That was in Hamiota.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. That was and but that was. I wondered at one time, boy, what am I doing here? Because some of the players were just about my age, and whoa. But no, it worked out very well, and everything was fine. But
right.
I did some Western Canadas too.
Okay. In Manitoba, or
in Manitoba, yeah. I never went out of province, but could have, I guess, but I didn't bother. Mm-hmm. I was still coaching at the time.
Right. Yeah. Do you follow baseball at all nowadays?
Absolutely.
Do you?
Oh, yeah.
So, who are you a fan of?
My grandson plays in Brandon.
Oh.
And one plays in Portage. And
right?
so I follow them pretty close. Yeah. And I still watch games on TV. Yeah. Oh, yeah. In fact, I'll quite often turn the ball game on instead of the hockey game.
Good.
Oh, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Well,
Gordy.
It's my pleasure.
Good. This has been Joe McPhee with the Manitoba Baseball Hall of Fame inductee profiles, and my guest has been Gordy Lyall.